Same.
colder. I know. It
like-
makes no
It's like
sense.
80 degrees here, so I can't even.
Oh, stop it.
I walked to the gym today in rain boots, and then when I got to the gym, I switched to my sneakers because you can't work out in wet sneakers.
No,
Yeah.
no shot.
No.
Kudos to you, though. I would probably just say skip that.
I'm in competition prep, so I had no choice. I literally had to go. I texted my coach and I was like, I'm going to say something really embarrassing right now. And I know that we're live, so I probably shouldn't, but I slammed a med ball in my face the other day and blood everywhere, thought I broke my nose.
No way.
Okay.
Jesus.
I thought it was a heavy medicine ball, but it bounced.
Oh,
Oh, man.
Wow.
Those aren't supposed to bounce. I don't
when I
think,
tell
generally.
you that there was blood everywhere, like murder scene, CSI, someone call Gil Grissom. Like I thought I broke my nose.
Were there people in the gym when you did that?
I was the only one.
Oh, well,
Thank God.
Thank God.
that would have been more embarrassing.
Thank God, but now everyone knows because I just said it live. So
Yeah, there
It's
you
okay.
go.
see it though. So there's still that.
yeah.
You still have that to hold on to. We are live on the YouTube channel, live everywhere right now, joined by the three hosts of the new podcast, Yins Hers. Great name, by the way. Samantha James, Jordan DeFigio, and Morgan Erzo. I hope I pronounced
You
that
got it.
correctly.
You did.
Bingo. I'm a genius. I get it every time. The boys are back as well. We're all here. 6 people on one podcast. This is the most we've ever had. We'll see how this works. I hope my Wi-Fi holds up. It's a 50-50 shot right now, so we'll see. Had to turn the Wi-Fi off on the phone, going 5G. So,
Oh, geez.
but hey, we are here. Podcast 169. It's freezing out. I heard, which one of you said you're in 80-degree weather right now?
That was me.
Damn.
It's like -10 with the wind chill here, and we just got 8 inches of snow.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And we're getting more. It's supposed to snow for like the next 5 days.
Yeah.
This is
Great.
our life here.
Like, what do you guys even do with that type of weather? Like, you just stay inside?
Same
Play
thing
video
we would do
games?
normally. Yeah, just stay inside.
Yeah, like, I
Yeah.
don't know.
We're not going to the pool, that's for sure. Morgan, you said you're in what, Texas?
Dallas. Yeah. And we
Dallas?
have like unprecedented snow right now. There are rolling blackouts throughout the Metroplex because
Crazy.
Texans don't know how to behave in like snow. And so there was a 100-car pileup on the highway the other day.
I saw
Yeah, I
that.
did see that.
So
Like fatal, like,
fatal.
6 fatals.
yeah, fatalities time.
super
Fatals.
super sad. And yeah, it's happening like everywhere and people don't know how to behave. And so I'm doing the same thing. I played Grand Theft Auto for like 3 hours today.
Sick.
Was that Michael or Morgan that just said that? I couldn't tell. 'Cause I've heard that about 1,000 times before from Michael.
Oh,
You know
yeah.
what
just
the
playing Grand
hardest
Theft Auto.
part is? You don't know when to put the controller down. Like I have
That's
a
it.
very
Yeah.
I have a very hard time. I'm like, I don't know when, like, is this a good moment? And then something exciting happens and you're like, oh shit, I can't do it.
Next thing you know, I'm at the casino in GTA till 2 a.m. I'm like, what am I doing?
I know.
Degenerate lifestyle. And Jordan, you're in Pittsburgh, right? Is it snowing there too? Like a motherfucker?
I kind of wish it was. It's like freezing rain.
Mm.
So
Ugh.
it's
Ooh.
super gross. Like, and it's sort of like melting the snow. So it's turning the snow into this nasty, like slush, disgusting pile of, it's gross. Like
Midwest weather. Yeah.
yeah, pretty much. It snowed a ton this morning and we were supposed to get like 8 inches tonight going into tomorrow, but it just changed to rain, straight gross rain. So it's
Hockey weather, that's for sure. Gotta love that at least.
Yeah, no, that's the worst part about the snow. It's when it melts.
yeah,
Literally,
here.
all the slush. It's
Yeah.
terrible.
Cleaning your car off, I think, is probably the worst part. But
Sam's like, can't
yeah, it
relate.
sounds like can't fucking relate at all. She's like,
Okay,
I went to
yeah.
the pool yesterday. It's whatever.
Okay, so like 2 weeks ago, it actually snowed in Scottsdale where I'm at, and I was like
What?
no, I was so confused. Like it was raining, I was like super cold, and all of a sudden I was like, "Is that snow? Like what is that?" And like legit, like obviously not a ton, but like enough that you could see it, and it was there for a little bit, like throughout the day, and it was just so weird. And then just back to 80 degrees the next week, so I don't. It's weird.
I'll tell you what,
That is
Mother
wild.
Nature's a real bitch that way.
Yeah.
Oh my God. All right. So listen, you guys got a new podcast. We said Yinzer's podcast. Break it down for us. How did this come about? I mean, it was obviously only a matter of time before, the three of you on Steelers Twitter, everyone was waiting for it. It wasn't if, but when you guys were going to pull the trigger and just do a podcast all together. And here we are. You guys have done it. How did this happen?
I think yeah, it was presented to us probably a couple months ago. Definitely before, it was a little bit after our losing streak kind of started. We were presented to go live on Steeler Nation's IG. And after that, they were like, "Hey, do you guys want to go live every week?" And then from there, it just kind of transitioned into doing a podcast with all three of us and picking a name and trying to kind of brand it in a way that was relatable to women in sports. And our passion is Pittsburgh. So
You nailed it right on the head with the name. Like that name is
Yeah.
awesome.
Yeah.
Sam, aren't you the one who came? We're in a big, it's Steeler Nation big group text, and we're just throwing names like spaghetti at a wall to see what sticks. And I think Sam was the one who ultimately came up with it. And the second she sent it, everyone was like, "Yes, like that is it. That's the one." So
Oh yeah.
it
I
was
believe it.
pretty instant that we knew that that was the one.
So then being a part of, you said Steeler Nation, it is, right? Do you guys are you, how do I want to word it? Can you talk about whatever you want to talk about, or is there limitations and like things like that? Can you swear, or do they not allow you to swear on it?
Jordan,
It's
you want to take that one?
Yeah, it's pretty lax in
Yeah.
terms of what we can cover. There are certain unspoken guidelines, kind of, I guess you could call them that. Like
Right.
we try to be very mindful and respectful of the players and not really cross that line from
Right.
being honest and critical of their play to, moving over into criticizing them as
To talking about them
Twitter
like we talked
fingers
about Terrell
territory.
Edmonds all year.
yeah.
Yeah, we would definitely get in trouble.
I know, because around the 4-2 guys, they're part of some Sports Illustrated podcasts they do too, and they're like, "Yeah, we can't swear." I was like, "We wouldn't last 2 fucking minutes on that. Like, we would be kicked off real quick."
It's interesting because with Steeler Nation, like it's a fan blog. And so we try to be supportive of the team and supportive of the players, while at the same time showing that we are knowledgeable and showing that we have opinions that matter and could possibly make a difference. But at the same time, it's towing a line between like entertainment and professionalism. And so we try really hard to keep it super, super professional. And I think Justin and everyone else have done a great job building that brand. And then with Yinzers, it's kind of like presented by Steeler Nation. And he last night said to us, he was like, I want this to be y'all's. I want you to take it and make it about getting to know you guys. And if you want to curse, curse. And if you want to say, whatever you want to say, do it, make it a thing. And so that's what we want to do. We kind of just want to make it good, make it real. That's the number one thing is I don't want it to be bullshit. I don't want it to be filler. I don't want it to be like super feel good all the time. I just want it to be real. And I think that Sam and Jordan feel the same.
Yeah. Authenticity is key.
And that's the struggle with, I think, podcasting as a whole for us. I mean, like when we started, we were trying to write down notes and like kind of script shit out. And I was like, this isn't even real. Like, what are we doing? And then I'm like, we just got to talk and be real about the bullshit. And yeah, that's definitely the way to do it. That's what people want is, nobody's watching Sports Center anymore because it's all scripted and it's all There's a narrative to it.
I mean, Stephen A is always going to go off no matter what.
Yeah.
Yes, and people still call him crazy, and his opinions are what it's like. Yeah, he's got a job. That's what he
A
does.
good one. A pretty good one. Some
Oh
might say.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, somehow it's turned into him, talking to his younger self and getting advice from baby Stephen A. Like,
I can't even follow anymore.
I can't either.
No.
I'm like, what? What is
Shannon
that?
Sharp's out here fucking smoking cigars and drinking Henny on set and shit, and like just living
Which
his
is
best
kind of
life.
dope.
And just yelling about nonsense, and he's making a killing.
Right.
How do we do that?
Got to probably play in the NFL.
Yeah, that's a good
Have
point.
an established
People usually
career.
listen that way. People usually
Start-
listen. That way.
You could with that 40 times.
Catch him
Listen.
at the combine.
Catch me at the combine. My vertical has little to be desired, but I make up in the 40, and I could probably put up like 2 on the bench press and call it a day. So catch me out at the combine, invincible type shit, and I'll be there.
Talking authenticity.
I believe that. Every single word.
Yeah, Baltimore.
Listen, I told you, bring the cones out, bring the camera out. I'll run it. Nobody believes it.
Yeah, do it in the snow.
Right now,
Yeah,
in the cold
snow,
weather?
yeah.
Alright,
Perfect running weather.
go.
Nobody else is out there.
Yeah, no sleep.
Max.
No
At least if
sleep.
I embarrass myself, nobody will be around to see.
Like the medicine ball incident.
I regret it. I regret it already. I'm never gonna live
It's
that
like-
down.
It's okay, Morgan. Everyone wants to ask about your nose anyway, so now you just have a talking point.
Yeah,
of this
what-
live. They're just
what-
gonna
what was up
take
with
it
that?
and run with that.
I was gonna say, like, this is the worst possible thing to injure because I paid for this. This cost me money. Yeah, no, for some reason people love to ask me how much my nose cost because I clearly, obviously have I had a nose job and apparently it's super obvious in 2008. So
If you hadn't said anything, I mean, how do you tell?
Yeah, I
Like,
mean-
how does one tell that has been done? Like, and if
you
who
should
cares?
ask Twitter. You should ask Twitter because
People got too much fucking time on their hands, is what
I
it
get
is.
that question a lot. And
I feel like
I promise you, the first thing that happened when the med ball hit me was like, I wasted all that money. I wasted all that money because I just broke my nose.
That would be
Damn.
brutal.
that would be brutal. You guys all catch a lot of flack, and not just you guys, but like the women of Steeler Twitter as a whole, and I
Women
guess
in
just-
general.
women in general,
across the
right.
world.
yeah, and you guys get so much just backlash for no reason on anything you guys fucking do. Like, how tiring does it just get all day? Just having to defend yourself for no reason at all on the internet to people who don't know
Who
you.
are losers?
Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a pretty heavy question, but I don't.
No, I think you have to take it with a grain of salt. And honestly, within especially Steelers women's Twitter, I think we've kind of all developed a sisterhood. Like, if somebody's coming for one of us, you'll see literally all of the women kind of group together and like push that person out. You also have to remember these people don't know you. They're only going off of an assumption that they're making about you. And that was kind of something that we wanted to take with Yinzers too, is like, there's so much negative media out there right now. And we are like, listen, the players are getting attacked all the time. Like, oh my gosh, we saw how the Corvette got blown up. So this was also a reason that we kind of wanted to establish ourselves. Like, we're used to getting, like, in a way, picked on all the time. People want to like talk about the way you look, talk about the way you dress. People you're dating, even, they will try to find out anything personal that they can about you to use it against you. And so that's also kind of why we established this. So
Hey, number one rule of Twitter: if you come at Samantha James, you best come correct, because she's got receipts that'll fucking put you on your ass. I guarantee you that shit.
Always.
Yeah.
I love
I love
it.
it.
I don't think I've seen one Twitter encounter where somebody has like won the argument against you. You're always just out here fucking.
It's mostly because their starting points, these other accounts are just blasphemous. Makes no
yeah,
sense.
yeah, of course.
It's always an athlete avatar and
Mhm.
5 followers.
Yeah.
Always.
Joined in April of
Always.
2019.
And they all have the
Exactly.
same bio. It's like father of 3, dad
Yeah,
of a girl.
dad.
Yeah.
Hashtag girl dad.
Yeah,
I'm like,
hashtag
oh
girl
my-
dad.
Always.
And you just insulted this girl for getting a nose job, or this girl telling her she doesn't know sports. And it's like, what are
I
you
swear.
doing? What precedent are you setting?
Right. I know. I hope your daughters don't read your Twitter someday, sir.
Honestly,
Shit.
like I
Oh,
said,
shit.
I hate it because you guys don't deserve it, but I love seeing it because you guys shit on people and just make them pretty much delete their accounts. It's great.
There have been moments when like I'll tell Sam like I want the smoke today. Like show me if someone comes at you, send me the message. I want the smoke. Like I'm ready.
Wow.
And I
I'm waking
just-
up and choosing
I
violence.
wake up and I choose
Yes.
violence.
Woke up feeling dangerous today.
It does happen. It does happen. I mean, and it's not hard. Like at any given point, like I could go into my mentions right now and somebody will be saying something that you could easily respond to, you know? So it's so easy. I'd say we probably ignore 80% of it at this point, but then yeah, you're like, all right, I'm feeling bored. I'll give this guy a little bit of attention. So
The best
and then
is
just
when
put them in the dirt.
they say some
Yes.
shit and then you post like, oh, you were in my DMs like 2 weeks ago, you fucking
This you.
nerd.
oh, that was
Yeah.
the best. Like that old man, he was like, you wear too much makeup and you're a poser. And I was like, oh, here's the receipt of you calling me attractive. Here you go.
Yeah.
Bye.
Yeah.
It's like, I mean, of
It's
course,
comedy. It's pure
that's-
comedy.
Yeah. What are you
Yeah.
thinking? Ridiculous.
Right.
Oh, well, I'm glad that you guys now have this platform with your podcast to fucking prove all these haters wrong. Let them know that you fucking do know what you're talking about. I mean, if anyone knows Penguins hockey, fucking Jordan's on top of it.
Going
over
to
here,
Jordan.
man. Yeah.
Constantly.
If
Whenever I don't know
need-
what's going on, I'm like, oh, just go to Jordan's Twitter, see what's happening in the Penguins game. Like, I'm not a hockey fan, or I
Yeah,
don't
yeah.
know hockey, I should say. I love playoff hockey. I don't know hockey. But if I sat down with Jordan, she could just like teach me the entire game.
Literally.
And I just trust her implicitly.
Feels so good, everybody. It was so good.
Well,
Yeah.
I don't keep up with it either, just because I've realized that it's just too much for me. There's too many games on during the week. I just can't keep up.
And
So
if you
I
don't
literally
have an NHL pass or anything, like we don't get
Right.
the Penguins games in Chicago.
Yeah.
Right. Out of market.
damn.
So it makes it really tough to watch the games.
Yeah.
so then I just follow Jordan's Twitter feed to keep up with
Exactly.
Penguins hockey.
Yeah. I never anticipate tweeting as much as I do. Like I don't plan for that. I don't go into the game thinking I'm gonna literally tweet about every single thing that happens. But then I just like get so carried away. As soon as they
50 tweets later.
yeah, I'm like, oh my God, I can't stop myself. I just get typically beer is involved too. So it's
Every time.
Us. Us.
But no, that's great. That means you're into it and you're like, we're us. It's hard for us to talk about the Penguins when we don't watch
right.
the games. So
Well,
it's very
it's
admirable.
hard. The NHL makes it really difficult to, and it's a totally different thing because they don't have the TV deals that the NFL has, and it's because there are so many games going on all the time, and there isn't as much interest that's generated in the NHL as there is NFL because it's more of a commitment and
Yeah.
it's just a lot. So it's unfortunate. I remember when I lived in Nashville, I just committed to getting the NHL pass because I was like, I can't go without watching them. So fine, take
Right.
whatever you jackasses, but it's hard to keep up, especially with this shortened season format. Cause it's like, yeah, they're playing 2 to 3 games a week. It's like every other day. It's a lot.
Yeah.
Do you like the new or this format? Like it's almost like a baseball, right? Where they're playing the same team. Was it
Yeah,
back
it's
to
more of
back, or-
like a series or like a kind of an abbreviated series because it's typically back to back. I wouldn't like it if it was like this every season. I don't think. Maybe I would, but I really like it because it's different. And
Yeah.
there's typically always hockey and the Penguins are playing every other night and it makes the games matter a lot more because every game is
Absolutely.
against a division opponent. And if you're like the fact that the Penguins have won 2 games in regulation is not good for them because they're giving up points to guys in the division. It's like,
And they're exhausting themselves.
and they are because they're playing so much extra hockey. I can't remember a season that has included this many shootouts. and we're not even like a quarter of the way through the season. So like, my God, guys, get your shit together.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's nuts. My favorite thing about like the little series type deal is like you mentioned, yeah, the games do matter more. And I mean, I've noticed every game is so much more chippy. Like if the first game there's some bad blood left on the ice, someone's getting laid out the next day. It makes it more fun to watch.
Yeah,
They
like,
don't
when
normally play series in the NHL.
Not in the regular season. They do in the
Right.
postseason with the best of 7. But yeah, typically it's like every now and then they'll do what's called a home and home, and they'll play like the Penguins would play the Capitals in Washington, and then a couple days later or the day after they would play the Capitals in Pittsburgh. But it's never
Just
been
like every so often, right?
It's very rare for that to happen. It's like once a season. If
My
that.
boyfriend plays baseball, so like all my other sports care outside of the Steelers is devoted to baseball, and I hate baseball. I hate it with like a burning passion.
What?
Only, but like I like the game, and I actually love how cerebral it is. I've learned so much. My boyfriend's an outfielder, so like he's a hitter, and I've learned so much about how baseball is not as simple as it seems.
Yeah.
I hate the politics of the game, and I hate what the owners are doing to the players right now. Like, just pay them. Like, just don't play this game where you don't want to pay any players, so you're just going to hold out until no one's signed, and then we're not going to have baseball unless you pay them way less than they are worth.
What teams he play for?
He's a free agent right now.
Okay, free agent right now. What team did he play for prior?
He was drafted by the White Sox in
Oh, fucking right. Let's go. The hometown team.
2009. And then he's been with
Okay.
the Yankees, the Reds, and the Angels.
Gotcha.
So
Awesome.
Yeah,
Cool.
that is
Yeah.
fucking amazing. But yeah, it's tough what they're doing to, I mean, even dudes in the, on the
I hate-
40 something man roster. It's like,
Oh, it's actually gross. Honest to God, like I think that the owners are the owners in MLB are the most selfish owners in all of sports, and I say that like with conviction. I cannot stand how they're behaving the past few seasons. I don't like how no one signs because they're trying to get the lowest possible contract. I don't know. I just think it's
they're
a
all
game.
greedy motherfuckers, all of them. I mean,
It's
that's what it comes down to.
gross.
Yeah.
Yeah, well also the MLB like took forever. They're like the last team to agree on something. They like waited way longer once, like NBA, MLS, like everybody else.
Yeah,
had-
weren't they the only ones that didn't do a bubble?
yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
And
Mhm.
And the only reason it took so long, we could have had a much longer relevant, because the last season wasn't even relevant. Like they played 60 games. That doesn't count. That's right when you start getting in the swing of things as a hitter is around 60
Right.
games. And so that doesn't even count. Last year was irrelevant, but we could have had so much longer of a season had that been, had they been able to come to a resolution in even half the time that it took them to agree on something. It
Yeah,
was
that
just
took
back and
forever.
forth
Yeah.
bullshit. Like, honest to God, I don't know. I have very strong emotions about this, if you can't
Hey.
tell.
Fucking go
No, it's
off.
great.
Let's go. Yeah.
I just
I
think it's
mean,
disgusting.
Because we always talk on our podcast about like the ownership struggle. And like even this year with the MLB, like the salary caps, the Dodgers have a fucking
There is no
$400 million
salary
cap, and the Pirates have like a $30 million team, whatever. It's like
it's
Right.
too. It was like
it's
the
all
Pirates was
such
40 million.
bureaucratic
It's insane.
bullshit, and it all comes down to ownership and money, and it's everyone's just a greedy son of a bitch.
Right. And
that's
then when
all
you
it
deal with
is.
stuff like that, like you're losing parity in the league. You're going to have the same 5 teams like NBA every single year because you have the best players making the most money on the same teams. And I can't stand that.
There's
That's
a
why-
reason that nobody knows who the fuck Mike Trout is when he's the best player by and far in the MLB, and nobody knows who he is
It's-
because he plays for a small market team. It's
Yep.
disgusting.
Yeah, it's honestly, it is. Fun fact, my boyfriend was drafted the pick before Mike Trout, 2 picks
Get the
before Mike Trout.
fuck
No
out.
way.
Yeah, I'm forever and
Yeah.
always. I'm gonna just assume that he's better than Mike Trout. Then fuck it.
I
That's
mean,
good enough for
based
me.
on
I'm
that,
convinced.
That means
He
He is in my heart.
That's all that matters.
You gotta clip that and send it to him for a late Valentine's Day gift. That was
Oh,
some
that was
cute
so
ass shit.
cute, Morgan.
Wow.
Oh, sweet. He's gonna hate me for saying all of that.
Well, you know, as of right now, we're anti Mike Trout podcast.
Didn't do anything wrong.
Facts.
Still a great player, but anti Mike
Yeah,
Trout.
nothing personal.
Oh
Yeah.
man.
But it's kind of personal. so.
Yeah.
Pretty strictly personal. Yeah.
Jordan, I wanted to ask you, I meant to ask you, people want to know, and I think the question here that is really important is how many jerseys have you bought this year so far? Because based on your Twitter feed, it sounds like you might have one
many
of
games
each
have they
player on the
played?
roster. Yeah.
Yeah.
13 games.
Real
Times
question.
3 players a game.
Yeah, math. Can you figure it out?
Me? No.
No, definitely not.
Absolutely not.
I started, it's like so much of what I do starts is just an absolute joke that I don't think people are going to pay attention to. Like, I work under the assumption that like I fly pretty under the radar. So I'm like, nobody's going to see this, whatever. So I started doing that like jersey thing. I did it once because I have a problem and I was seriously considering getting that jersey. So I just kind of like did it on a whim. And then I thought, what if I did it again when somebody else scored? And then I just was like, okay, people are actually responding now. So maybe I'll keep it going.
Like,
And-
damn, now I have to get all these jerseys.
No, I have a list, but so I just like, I've had to address it with a couple people though, because I feel that it's very important to be like, I'm not that financially irresponsible. I'm not going to sink my entire future into jerseys.
Despite the hat collection behind you, you don't spend all your money on sports
Exactly.
apparel.
It's like a good 40% of my money after my bills.
Listen, Pittsburgh apparel, Bills, anything else after that.
Hey,
It's all
respect.
cool.
There's something so soothing about just looking at a wall that's covered in black and gold. I don't know.
Paying rent is
Literally.
overrated anyway. It's
I'm with you.
Mhm.
We all envy your wall.
Yes. Yes.
We all want it.
So it's like
Yeah,
a Lids locker room or like a rally house.
It is like a lids.
Yo, combined all the hats and jerseys on Jordan's wall with all the shoes behind Alex's head, there is thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars in all of it.
Oh yeah.
Man, we have our priorities straight.
It looks like it.
You guys should start an eBay storefront. You would make bank.
An eBay storefront. In this climate, I don't know.
I feel like anything's worth a shot in this climate, right?
Hey,
Absolutely.
this is the time for shooters to shoot. That's for sure.
Yeah.
Jordan, I don't know if we asked you before. What's your favorite jersey that you own?
Oh, it's definitely a Penguins jersey because their quality is just so high.
'Cause
I
they're so
think-
dope.
They're so freaking dope. I think my favorite is my newest one, the reverse retro John Marino. That's just super clean.
I've been seeing so many people hate on those reverse retros, and I thoroughly enjoy the look of them.
Yeah,
they're
they,
dope.
they hate the reverse retro because they're not the reverse retro. It's what it is. I really a lot.
I think they're
You
clean.
should put that on a t-shirt.
You should.
Yeah, that
You
actually is
should.
a great slogan.
That's just like ass trash. Put that on a t-shirt too.
Exactly. yeah.
Jordan, I swear to God, I use that phrase in my daily life like several times a day. And I think of you every time I do. So
I'm so glad. Again, it was one of those things that I
So
just
glad.
did on a whim. And
I'm sure you're glad I think of you every time I use
I
the
am.
term ass trash.
I am so touched. I have no idea.
I love it. It's my favorite.
Oh my god. I wanted to get your guys' opinion on some football here as far as the JJ Watt situation.
Ooh.
Michael and Alex, I think we had talked about this already at one point. Maybe
Yeah,
maybe not,
we
but-
texted about it.
Yeah, that makes sense. Listen, I mean, the question really is JJ Watt, does he end up in Pittsburgh? And I mean, I think I could speak for Michael and Alex and myself where we're like, no, he's not going to be in Pittsburgh. It doesn't even matter. But there's some people out there who are like, there's a chance he ends up in Pittsburgh. So,
Well, I would say there's a chance he ends up in Pittsburgh.
well,
The Vegas odds say he ends up in Pittsburgh.
But it's like
I'm pretty sure I said it's the Steelers or the Bears, and I would change that to the Steelers or the Packers because if he wants to win a championship, he's not going to the Bears.
Well, if
Yeah,
it wasn't
that's
with
fair.
Juju, he's
That's a
not going to
fair
the
point.
Packers.
Maybe.
wait, what'd you just say?
No, dude, Brady and Rodgers have the same amount of NFC division wins.
Are you
Yeah, but
are you saying the
Brady's a-
Packers can't win a Super Bowl right now?
They won't.
He's
No,
also
they
from
can.
Wisconsin.
They
His
can.
entire
They
family.
won't.
So
They can,
Bro.
but they won't.
Put some respect on Aaron Rodgers' name.
No, he's a great quarterback. I just don't think
an MVP, some would say.
He's a great regular season quarterback.
Oh
Yeah.
shit! Shots have been fired.
Sorry, thank you.
I
Green
mean,
Bay fans have entered the chat.
I'm just saying, there's a chance. He's
I
definitely
don't
not going
think
to the
they would
Bears.
disagree right now. I think that I don't know. I agree. I don't think Green Bay is going to win it anytime soon. I don't put that solely on Aaron Rodgers. I don't.
No, it's
Great.
actually quite the opposite in my mind.
Yeah, I think if they were to win, it would be largely because of Aaron Rodgers. I don't think that they have the team right now. I don't think that they're as complete. If you look at our Super Bowl teams this year, both teams were like not. I don't think Tampa Bay had a great defense, but I think they were both largely complete on both sides of the ball, all three phases.
Yep.
So I don't think Green Bay has that right now. I don't think they have that edge.
Yeah, I'll take a step back and say that I don't think the Packers are going to win the Super Bowl. It was just they have a better shot than the Bears.
No, you
And
said
that's why
it. It's-
JJ Watt would go
Everyone
to
No,
heard
no,
it.
no,
You have to
no,
stick
it's-
to your word.
Don't go
Tappy was
back,
like,
bro.
dude, the
Don't-
Packers suck.
Who are you talking about? Who are you scared of right now?
Me? Nobody.
Yeah, who's
Yo,
living
scared
rent
money don't
free in
make
your
money,
head?
homie.
Yeah.
Que miedo.
Aaron Rodgers.
Oh man, yeah. Well, listen, I would love to take JJ to the Steelers. I mean, the narrative in itself of just the three Watt brothers on the same team. If Derek's going to stick around, that is, who knows. But
Yeah, dude, if JJ comes, we get 16 games all in prime time.
If JJ shows
we
up
need
for the
that.
Steelers,
We
I
need
saw-
that big
I
time.
forgot who it was, but someone said if JJ goes to the Steelers, we're not re-signing Bud Dupree.
Okay,
I don't
so
think we're re-signing Bud Dupree anyways.
I was gonna say what?
So that increases the chances of JJ, and he'll replace the edge, right?
I don't think there's a correlation in that. I think that based off of last season, like the way that Alex Highsmith is developing,
Oh yeah.
we love Bud Dupree, but do I think that they're probably going to put him into that role and let him develop even further? Yes. Bud Dupree even we don't have the cap space. I don't think that we can keep Bud
No.
Dupree.
Right.
Yeah.
I'm
In
gonna
a
hate to
perfect
lose
world.
him. I'm gonna hate to lose him. It sucks.
Hate it.
The thing that I love about Alex Highsmith is I think that he is steps above where Bud Dupree was at that phase in his
Mhm.
career.
That's
the,
valid.
the only thing that I see that Highsmith isn't doing right now that we love Bud for is Bud sets the edge like an elite. He is
Yeah.
elite
Yeah.
at that. And I don't see that in Highsmith yet, but I don't think that that's something that we're not going to see in him.
Great.
So I'm pumped to see Highsmith step into that role. And I do think that the question then becomes with JJ, if we were to bring him in, which I'm not saying that we're not going to, I think that it's actually possible. Don't know if I would go towards probable yet, but that puts, I think, Tuitt's role more into question than anything. We're paying him a lot of money, and one way to relieve some salary cap stress would be to extend him this year. That's a possible contract extension that we're talking about. So I think there's some interesting interaction there between those two roles, and I don't know what that would be if we had both of them.
Mhm.
Interesting.
Yeah, well,
I
I
didn't think
mean,
about that.
either way, the defense is going to be fine. And in my eyes, it's the offense that I'm worried about. I mean, what's the biggest in your guys' mind as far as the need in the draft or this offseason, as far as signing potentially a free agent or trading for something? What's
Center.
the biggest
Yeah.
center?
Yeah.
Okay,
Center.
bingo,
Center.
yeah. So we're all on the same
That
page. Yeah.
very recently became the biggest
Yeah.
concern.
Before that,
Yeah.
I would have said tackle.
Right. Yeah.
Um,
O-line or no, yeah,
O-line.
definitely a center.
Everyone that
Like-
says running back, I want to hit. Like,
No,
stop.
thank you.
Stop.
Thank you. It's
Stop.
ridiculous.
I've
Like
seen-
we love a good running back. Like, oh my gosh, we get so hype over them, and like, yeah, no one like is like, oh my gosh, an offensive lineman or a center, but like those are a need. Like we need them.
And, like I said right after the Super Bowl, defense wins championships. Yes, that's true. My dad is a big Steelers fan, guys, but he's the reason I'm a Steelers. I'm from Pittsburgh. He's crazy, but he's super negative all the time about the Steelers. He's that guy. And I know a lot of y'all's
Know a
parents
few
are
of those.
probably the same. But that's my dad. And he was like, no, Morgan, if you saw anything during this game, it was offensive line. Offensive line wins championships. And I think that we've kind of seen that be a thing. We saw the offensive line absolutely incapable of doing anything for Mahomes this year. And look what happened. I mean,
The offense,
They are the defense for the
Huge.
offense.
well,
They
yeah,
just,
exactly. The
Yeah.
offensive line is what allows the offense to break out of being a one-dimensional unit to being multi-dimensional. And if you don't have an offensive line, then you can't really have an effective run game or pass game. Like,
right.
because you're constantly letting guys get through to whoever has the ball. And you need both a good run game, which the Steelers did lack, but I think greatly in part because they had no offensive line help.
And
Yeah.
play calling was ass trash.
And oh yes,
But you
that
can
was
see, but
Trash.
so
Don't get
bad.
us
you can only do so
started.
much play calling
so
with
bad.
no line.
Exactly. Yeah. Right.
Yeah, that's so true. And like when the number one goal is protect Ben Roethlisberger at all costs, you don't see the offensive line with their hands in the dirt, ready to block for the run. They're not setting up for that. When you're throwing quick passes, the number one thing you're focused on doing is protecting your quarterback. When you're running every single play out of the same formation, we know we know what's going to happen. There's no running game. There's no chance.
Everyone does.
Everyone
Like,
knows
the
what's going to
opponents.
happen. Yeah. So, I mean,
We from home. No, it's
Yeah.
coming.
right. And so not only was there no offensive line, but we didn't have the personnel for it.
Mhm.
So I don't know.
What's a Najee Harris without an offensive line? It's another
He's
fucking
a James
Benny
Conner.
Snell. Yeah. I mean, that's
mean,
all it is.
No disrespect to James Conner, it's the line. And I was so sick and
Yeah.
tired of hearing Big Ben leads the NFL in releasing out of his hand.
Yeah,
That's
why
not good.
That's terrible. Yeah.
Like, we need him to be able to set up play actions, get comfortable in the pocket, and go back to bombing the ball deep. Not even bombing the ball deep, just throwing more than 1 yard crossing routes.
moderately
Or extending a play. Like
Yeah.
that is what Ben does. When we talk
Yeah.
about let Ben cook, like, yeah, we want to see him drop the plays. We want to see him play his backyard football, but we also want to see Ben scramble outside the pocket and extend some plays. Like that's what he does. That's what we love
Seriously.
about him.
We also want to see Ben alive at the end of the day, though, which is
Yeah.
something
Right.
that I don't know. When he gets outside of the pocket these days, I get worried and concerned. So,
Dude,
I mean, it's
don't
like
get me
damned
wrong.
if you do, damned if you don't type of thing.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, but Jordan, you said it. Without the offensive line, you become one dimensional. And we saw that completely last year. I think the Steelers were ranked last in the league in rushing. And the last
Yep.
game, Ben threw it 58 times.
Yeah.
Like,
Dude's arm's gonna fall off soon.
it really is.
He's got a bionic elbow, guys. We're gonna be fine.
that's
Yeah.
facts.
another
It is bionic. So okay, so we need a center here. Yeah, Pouncey officially announcing his retirement.
Marquise and Mike.
Yep.
Yeah, good for both of them.
How cute is that?
A lot of people were like, I thought if Pouncey walked, maybe Ben would walk with him. They kind of talked about the leaving together thing. I mean, technically the verdict is still out, whether or not we're going to see Ben next year. So, I mean, does he come back for one more year, his farewell tour? He didn't really get one this year, if you ask me.
I think he does. I think the reason that we haven't heard anything yet is because these TV deals still have yet to be worked out. We don't know if ESPN is going to be getting Sunday Ticket. We don't know the money that's going to be poured into that. I think Ben comes back. I don't think Pouncey leaving really affects his decision one way or another, as much as we like to think that they're, you know,
Right.
Best buds
Gonna
going
leave.
out together.
yeah, it's like a sweet thought. But no, I think
At
he's
the end
pretty
of the
bad.
day, it's his job, really, right?
And I
Well-
think he's still got a big love for the game. And I think Pouncey
Yeah.
kind of lost that a little bit. And that's fine. That's normal. I think that's the natural progression. It's time for life after football. And I don't think Ben's necessarily at that point. So
He's still
if they
got more
want
in
him
the tank.
back. Yeah.
When you're the center, oh my God, your body just takes a pounding. And not
my
that
God.
Ben hasn't. Like Ben has been knocked around a good bit, but I think that Pouncey really, he even said like I just can't give myself to this game anymore. I have to give myself to things outside of it. I just can't make this work. And that's understandable. And I agree with Morgan. I feel like maybe Ben doesn't come back, but I feel like he will. And if he doesn't, it's not going to be because of Marquise Pouncey. It's going to be because he chose to walk away from the game because he just wanted to. He felt like it was time.
I would like to think he wouldn't do that to the team to leave it in the hands of Dwayne Haskins and Mason Rudolph. And I don't know who's Paxton Lynch. I don't fucking know. Like
Josh Dobbs still, right? But he's going to be a free agent.
yeah. Right.
Guys,
I mean,
didn't you hear we're getting Trevor Lawrence and
Yeah,
Dak Prescott
and Deshaun Watson,
Sam
and,
Darnold.
Oh, we're getting
Carson
all of them?
Wentz, all of them. Yeah.
Wow. Then we're
That'd be
set.
sick if we can afford all of them.
Yeah,
they're all
we're just gonna
taking
work
league
quarterbacks.
minimums, and we're just gonna have a depth chart of 6 quarterbacks. It's gonna be dope.
Yeah, we're
Easy
gonna be
money.
like we're gonna be like the Chicago Bears who had like 12 tight ends on their roster.
We're gonna be like a baseball team with a starting rotation of quarterbacks.
Yeah.
I like that. That seems innovative. Like you're on to something.
Yeah, I like it too.
Listen, it's kind of working in New Orleans for Drew Brees and Taysom Hill type thing. We
And
said
Jameis.
yeah, and Jameis. But
Wait,
I
do you think
mean,
we'll get a closer?
we said let it ride with
Pittsburgh's
Dobbs
always
and
had good
whoever
closers.
else. That's true.
So
Well,
funny.
the last one kind of was
Good on the field, Ty.
okay.
Yeah. I don't, oh,
Let's clarify.
Don't even
Let's
want to bring his
clarify.
name up.
yeah, don't. He's
Don't say it.
Yeah.
crossed over into Baltimore territory.
Yeah.
I know that was a Harry Potter reference, but it just didn't resonate with me, and I apologize for that.
Really like that. I'm not even that big into Harry Potter, but it just, I don't know.
It was a
I love Harry Potter.
timely
Me
reference.
too.
I thought you said
Big
Baltimore.
I'm a big Potterhead.
Me too. Me too.
Oh,
Baltimore, Baltimore, same
yeah,
thing.
I'm a giant Potterhead too. Just not in the same context, I don't think. I'm
Drop
into
off
pottery, very into pottery.
Pottery. Got
Catch
it.
me at the Pottery Barn.
Yeah, Pottery Barn fan.
I like to host pottery parties. It's great. You guys should. I'll invite you next time.
That sounds kind of sick, dude.
Yeah, bring your own pottery.
Yo, Seth Rogen's been making pottery. If Seth Rogen's about it, I'm about it. You know.
I heard
Oh,
it's
yeah?
very like cathartic, like very soothing.
Yeah,
Sit on a potter's wheel.
I could use some of that in my life. I think.
clay flying everywhere.
I'm fucking beating the shit out of clay. Just not working for me. Anyways, Ben Roethlisberger, hell of a guy.
Yeah. So what's next? If Ben's doesn't come back, or like let's fast forward a year or two, who do you guys see under center? Is it going to be Mason? Is it going to be Dwayne?
I don't even like to think about that right now. It
I
just
know,
makes me
it's
upset.
tough.
Oh, it's so hard. Yeah, I mean, we would have
Chairman,
to
sorry.
do bad enough to get a decent draft pick because pick 24 is just not it.
And like Mike Tomlin told Chase Young, we don't play bad enough to pick that high to get
Yeah.
guys like him.
That was
So badass.
that was
That
so
is a
God.
badass sentence, right
Such
there.
a badass. God, I love
we don't
him.
lose enough games to pick players like you.
Ugh,
We
I
went
love
on
him.
like 3 games in a row. Thanks a lot for that, Tomlin.
I mean, we went 8-8 with Duck and Mason. So like
Right.
I'm saying.
I feel like that's the bottom line now.
And
Like,
that's the floor for me, right?
yes, like that's
Yeah.
exactly the floor. Like I don't know. Like, so yeah,
I
it's
will
hard to think about.
say I like I hate thinking about Ben leaving. One, let me just preface with
Yeah.
that. But I like that Cincinnati quarterback. I like Dustin Ritter a lot. I think he's super mobile. I think that he's got a really high ceiling. I think that he's got the intangibles that you like. He's not a system quarterback. If you don't know about him, learn about him. He's not in
Googling
the
him right
draft.
now.
He's not declaring for this year. He's going to
For
play
this
another
year.
year. So keep an eye on him because I think he's a Pittsburgh guy. Like I could really, really, really see them liking him a lot.
Yeah, because I don't know shit about college football. So if you were like, which college guy you like for quarterback is, I'm like, I don't know. I know Trevor Lawrence's name. That's about it. But yeah, so it's like, okay, we either draft a quarterback or I don't know, we pick up a free agent. But as of now, we talked last week, I think the three of us, for 2022, the Steelers don't have a single quarterback under contract as of right now. So
Mhm.
who's it
And
going
we
to
have
be?
a ton of money in 2022.
Yeah,
We have a
tons.
ton of money.
So that's really interesting.
Gonna ball out.
Do y'all think that there will be like good faith contracts this year? Like, hey, play for a year for us for the little bit that we can give you, and then we'll redo your contract in 2022 when we have the money.
I could see that working in the case of like Mike Hilton, somebody like that who
Mhm.
is trending upward pretty rapidly, but not quite there where I think he would be able to get the amount of money that he's going to be worth from other teams. I could see him doing something like that with the team, just holding out until they can pay him what he's worth.
Yeah.
I can
really
see
wanna-
that for sure. We're huge fans of Mike Hilton.
Oh yeah.
Dude's a
Love
dog.
Mike Hilton.
My favorite Steeler by far.
I
by
love
far.
him.
By the way, Zach Smith of Around the 4 and 2 says YouTube comments aren't working, but wanted to say hi to everyone. And Michael, he says he loves your mustache. So
Sick.
it's just a little message.
Mine.
Yeah, I don't know if it compares to Michael's, but yours is good too, Morgan. It's great.
Hey,
Better than-
Zach.
Better than what I can.
Yeah, shout out to Zach.
What up, Zach? Thanks for watching, man.
What up, Zach?
But yeah, the quarterback situation is going to be tricky. Like, I mean, yeah, Mike Hilton for me, number one priority. If that dude leaves, I'll actually cry tears.
Yeah.
So
Heartbreaking.
I don't know.
Yeah, who are y'all's? Is Hilton all of y'all's number one priority?
As far as retaining players, it is for me.
Yeah,
I
your
mean,
free agent priority.
I guess I don't know if how long Carlos Davis, is that his name? How long his contract is? I think he's a gem.
Carlos Davis.
Is that his name, or am I saying it wrong?
I have no idea who you're
It's
talking
whoever
about.
got
bro.
to a fight in the last game.
Oh, the dude on the sidelines with Isaiah Bugs.
Yeah,
Was that Carlos
Gross.
Davis? He's still on his rookie deal because
it's what I'm saying. I don't know how long we signed him for, or I don't know how long his deal is. But I think I'm excited for that guy to break out.
hope he does.
Yeah,
Michael, you
he's
got the
shown-
Google going here?
You
He
guys,
signed a 4-year contract.
did he? I wasn't sure because I know they don't always sign long-term contracts.
Yeah, no. So that he signed a 4-year, $3.3 million contract.
No, not bad.
Yeah, I mean the secondary for me, I think Cam Sutton's a free agent if I'm not mistaken
Yeah.
too. So
He
like,
is. Hilton and
keeping
Sutton
him
both.
would be great.
Mhm.
I don't know. I think our defense is where all of our strength lies. If we can keep our defense as solid as we can, as far as keeping some of the same players and getting a potential player like fucking JJ Watt, who knows? Like that's ideal scenario for me. And then you fill in the offensive pieces as you can.
For me, Hilton and Sutton are so important because historically we don't do too well drafting CBs.
Yep.
Yeah.
So it would be dope to keep the ones that we know work for us and who we really
Yeah.
like. I love both of them. I
Mhm.
think they're both trajectory is outstanding.
Yeah.
So
I agree with that.
I know Hilton's going to be tough to hold on to, but I hope they find a way.
For sure. Yeah.
I know Sam's priority in free agency.
Let's hear it. What is it?
Is this a secret? This is not a secret. I am on the Extend Juju campaign.
Oh, yeah, duh. No shit. Yeah, man. Oh,
Yeah, I can't tweet about Juju without Oldman just being like, "We're not signing him. Why are you so stupid? He sucks." Blah blah blah. Like, shut up, bro. No one
Say
cares.
bye to your
Juju sucks.
boyfriend.
You don't know
Yes.
football. Like that's
Literally.
At all.
the dude balled out this year. Even it's like he's putting up numbers.
He just seems like such a good person,
Right?
and a good
Yes.
player, and team chemistry, his talent on the field. Like,
Do you
what
like
more do you want from a player?
right? And do people not realize like after what we dealt with? I'm not
Right.
going to say his name, but
He
there's
who shall not be named.
right. There is so much value in a receiver like Juju. He's not a number one, okay? Like he's not going to be our number one receiver. He is arguably the best number two in the league because he's super complimentary. He's going to fight for the yardage. He's so physical and he's reliable on a team where we have guys who drop the ball like it's their
Oh my God.
Skittles.
Deontay.
Like it's hot potato.
Yeah, like I come on. When Juju's like the third most reliable on adjusted catchable targets in the entire league.
But Morgan,
the
he has too
entire
much
league.
fun. He
Yeah,
has
like-
too much fun.
Yeah, like
I
remember
know.
when we signed Moncrief?
What an right. Like what an idiot when he celebrates someone else's touchdowns, right? Like get him out of here.
Yep. The Juju slander is the worst thing.
He's charitable, so it's just disgusting.
Yeah. So like he's a shitty guy. He is charitable, but he mentioned it, so it doesn't really count.
Right. God forbid.
Yeah.
God forbid
yeah,
you mention it so other people can do the same.
Spread
Right.
awareness.
it's literally a cult. Like it is literally like I refer to it now as the I Hate Juju More fan club because like it is insane, especially like the Pittsburgh media, Mark Madden specifically, just drives it home. You know, constantly like he started with Juju. He's picking on TJ, which is even just more bizarre to me. It's just
Yeah.
crazy. I mean,
Fuck,
Makes
I mean,
no sense.
yeah, that guy can fist himself for all I care.
Yeah, we can say that on this podcast, right?
Hey, don't show Steeler Nation this. Whatever you guys do.
they would agree. They would agree. So.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
I think most people, well, I guess not. He has some weird following that I'll never understand. But
I don't get it either.
I think it's all him.
Bizarre.
He just creates like
It's him and a bunch of
thousands
burner accounts.
Yeah, because he has the time for it. What else is he doing besides finding ways to inadvertently support himself? Like that's just I don't know. He seems that narcissistic and that bored. I don't know. Just doesn't make sense for anybody to look at that and objectively say he's so right.
Oh no, I know.
Seriously.
I mean,
Did you
yeah.
see the screenshot of the article from like way back when all the Cordell rumors were going around? We all
Yeah,
know about
Mark.
that because and then you know it said Jim Wexell got fired because he wouldn't apologize to Mark Madden for like going off on him for making some homophobic comment on the air or something like that. I don't remember what it was.
Mhm.
But he's been a problem since then, y'all.
Yeah.
Like he's not going anywhere.
Mhm.
And
Yeah.
that is it keeps me up at night.
Hey, that's why we got people like us and podcasts like Yinzers, and it's like you're gonna take the spot of people like that because that's an ancient way of communicating your thoughts is the sports radio broadcast like that. So it's all about what you guys are doing anyway. You guys are taking over in the near future, especially
Yeah.
considering. Speaking of Juju, can we put this out there? Yeah,
Yeah,
this is
it's out
common
there.
knowledge. Okay, cool.
It's out there. Yeah.
Your first podcast for this new podcast, Yinzers, drops tomorrow, and your first guest, none other than Juju Smith-Schuster's mother,
Yes, Mama Juju.
Mama
It's
Juju.
Wednesday, but yeah.
Yes, it is Wednesday.
Oh, yeah,
Yeah,
Wednesday.
Wednesday. I have my days all mixed up.
No, you're fine. Yeah, we're pumped.
How did that happen? Did you obviously you guys reach out to her, but was it one of you that reached out to her, or did Steeler Nation help you contact her at all? How did that work out?
Actually, yeah, Steeler Nation reached out to her, even without just like we kind of decided we're going to do the podcast. And the next thing we know, Sammy agreed to come on. So
It was a bit of
it
a
was like, it was so fast. Like, I don't even know if we had a name at that point.
So you want to come on this podcast? It's just
Yeah.
a podcast. We don't have a name
Yes.
yet.
Yeah.
That's
We're so
awesome.
excited. She's great.
Awesome.
She-
So
She's
did you
great.
already record that episode and it's just releasing Wednesday, or have you not recorded yet?
We're doing it live.
Oh, it's live. Oh, we're gonna
Yeah.
do it live. Fuck it, we'll do it live.
Yeah,
Awesome.
We're going live.
Oh, I can't wait for that. That's
Oh,
gonna
that's
be
awesome.
great. I know you guys put out a tweet that was like, "Who's got questions?" Did you guys get some good questions from people on Twitter, or was it all some bullshit?
I think we got
we-
some good ones.
Yeah, I think it's kind of funny. Me, Morgan, and Jordan all did questions on our own and then put them into the group text to see who, and it's funny because none of us had the same questions, but they're kind of all in line with each other. And then so we were like, you know what, let's reach out on Twitter too and ask, because we do want people to be involved. We want them to be able to have the chance to ask a question too. So we'll take one or two from there and run with it, but we also want it to be natural like this,
Yeah.
So we want it to flow. We don't want it scripted.
Just do me a favor and ask her if Juju wants to be friends with us, because like that'd be cool.
Like,
That would be
we'll
sweet.
mention each of you by name.
What's up?
We'll say, hey, do you want to be friends with Ty?
Yeah.
Alex, and see what he says.
Yeah. Don't even say like
No-
the
no more
entertainment
context
podcast.
than that.
Nothing. Yeah.
Does Juju know how fast Ty's 40 is?
Yo, if he did, he would be calling me to train in the off season. It's not
Yo.
even a question. So why are we even tiptoeing around it? Juju, what's up? If you hear this, I'll help you train. It's cool.
You know what?
Break it
And
down.
if Juju's listening, talk to Zach Banner. I still want to beat him in FIFA.
Yeah, we gotta set that up for
Yeah.
sure.
I want the smoke.
I know that boy's scared. We tweeted at him. He didn't tweet
Yeah,
back,
I
so
said
we know he's
$100.
scared.
Let's put it up.
Yeah.
Maybe we can get you and Juju to race, because I mean
Wow.
he
Great
ran
idea.
a 5.4.
That's a
or
great
4.5,
idea.
So
I was like, he ran a 5.4. That
sorry,
doesn't
4,
sound right.
5.
Yeah, that's like physically.
I mean,
impossible.
I could probably beat him in a foot race, dude.
Great idea.
I mean, if you wore the Adidas Ultra Boost like him, you probably have a quicker step.
I played pickleball yesterday, which with a bunch of
You okay?
above 50-year-old people
you
for
didn't pull
3
anything?
hours.
That's
Today,
like-
I feel like I got ran over by a bus.
So we'll get the 40 done.
So
in
the
about a month.
4.7 thing, I'm pretty confident in. That's all I'm saying.
all you need is confidence. That can take you a lot of places in life.
Oh yeah, I
Yeah.
fake it till I make it, and I
Yep.
bullshit my way
This is
through.
exude everywhere.
What did you say,
Yeah.
Morgan? Just be a puffer fish?
Just be a puffer fish. You belong. Don't let anyone tell you otherwise.
Oh,
I love it.
I love it too. All right, well, we've been going an hour here. We'll let you guys go. I'm sure it's late over there in Pittsburgh for you, Jordan. So
That's me.
thank you guys so much for coming on. We appreciate it. Everyone, make sure to check out their podcast. What's the social media handles for your new podcast?
Sam.
Oh, okay, that's all me. So Twitter, it's Yins Hers with an S at the end, and then Instagram, it's Yinzer Official.
Decent.
Decent. And
Yeah.
then your podcast, it can be found everywhere, I assume.
Yeah, it should be available on all platforms.
Perfect. And why don't you just give everyone your personal handles for social media
In case
while
they
we're
want to come
here?
at you on a bad day.
Yeah, in case they want to try to challenge you guys in some way, shape, or form.
So mine's Samantha James, and there's an underscore at the end.
Bingo.
Bingo. I'm Fidge Newton. So if you want to see
Love it.
what jerseys I threatened to buy for myself so that I don't actually buy jerseys, that's do it on Twitter all the time. Everything.
And I had to take my name off Twitter because people are
Wow.
insane. But my handle
What?
is that's a story for another time, guys. Maybe I'll tell that one on Yansers at some point.
Yo, yeah.
Yeah. My handle is Tokyo X Mo because I love Japan. So
Perfect.
I just
Right
had
on.
sushi today.
huh?
Just had-
I said just had sushi today.
Wow, what are the odds?
Man, you like Japan too.
What a world. What a coincidence.
Huge Japan guy myself. I love sushi. Well, thank you guys so much. Make sure to check us out. Just go to yinsentertainment.com. It's all there. Social media links, podcast links, yada yada. This will be up on our YouTube page. Obviously, it's live now. And you can find us everywhere. Thank you guys so much again for coming on. We appreciate it. And good luck on Wednesday with Mama Schuster.
Yes.
Thanks for having us.
Thank
Thanks for
you.
having us,
Thank
guys.
you.
Thank you guys.
Take care. We'll see you later.
See ya.
Peace.